I can't believe you're falling for this. It is absolutely insane what happened yesterday. One of the biggest psyops that I've ever seen. And I think we're gonna see it unfold and you're gonna get completely destroyed. Bear with me here. Trump, I'm pleased to report that the United States of America and the country of Iran have had, over the last 2 days, very good and productive conversations regarding complete and total resolution of our hostilities. Then Bitcoin jumps, Brent basically falls 18%. And then Iran comes out and they say, well, we haven't talked to the United States at all. We don't know what this guy is talking about. By the way, 5 minutes before the announcement, there was a 1.5 billion notional long on the S&P 500, which obviously skyrocketed, and 192 million notional short on oil futures. Guess what? These guys printed off $500 million in that 30 minutes followed the announcement. And then after all this, Trump comes out and he's like, well, we hope that we're gonna have US and Iran have a great talk. He plans to get together with Iran through a phone call. And you can look this through and you simply can't, I can't believe that you or anybody else will fall for this, long the market and all these news and get completely slaughtered by the second half of the week. Basically what's going to happen, I'm going to talk about the charts, I'm going to talk about oil, I'm going to talk about Bitcoin, I'm going to talk about how I'm trading this. If you don't know who I am, my name is 𝗓𝗡. I do these updates. I basically navigate the market and I trade every single day, making 4% a month. Accumulated makes you 100 extra net worth in the next 10 years. So if that sounds good, subscribe to the channel. I do these 5-minute updates so you can't miss anything and you don't miss anything. And you're up to date with the financial markets. But let's jump back in here because as Scott says here, Trump, you have 48 hours. He was very explicit, right? We talked about this on the show here. I was like, yeah, Trump comes out, he's like, 48, you got 48 hours and then we're gonna bomb the shit out of them, right? And then he comes out, nobody cares, no worries, you got a week. But there is a very specific reason why he gave 5 days. Guess what happens in 5 days? Well, it's Friday. It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what? And the reason why it's Friday and the reason why it's important, because Trump is very good at doing everything de-escalation on Friday, a little pump, and then ruin everything on Saturday, Sunday, and get the job done by Monday. So for example, how I see this happening, first of all, there's major escalation and military buildup happening in the Middle East. And guess what? These guys that are arriving, there's 2,200 Marines arriving when? On Friday! Okay, so what I'm saying is like whether they are going for Iran's Kharg Island, which is basically the island that handles 90% of Iran's oil export, or they're doing a full-on ground invasion, we don't know. But what we know is that it is happening, something is happening, and Trump gave 5-day ultimatum. Why actually they're still being bombed? Like Iran is still running out, infrastructure, electric infrastructure is being bombed. But we are going to see how this plays out, and I do believe that we are going to get a complete meltdown coming the end of this week, beginning of next week. Now, I left a full 4.5-minute voice note yesterday. I was updating you a lot when this whole shit show has been happening in the community. This is why it's always worth joining in. It's literally one of the top links in the description. Join the community and you're not going to miss anything if anything happens. So I can't come here do a whole show, but I can update you. And I told you there that I'm still in my major Bitcoin short, and I'm still in my S&P short, and I'm still in my oil long. Why? Because even though the market fell, I also have this open the Bitcoin short or Bitfund. Even though the market fell, I don't actually care because I do not buy these, and I just simply can't believe that people fall for this whole thing. So let's talk about Bitcoin because it's very, very, very important. One, people are like, 𝗓𝗡, but this is a 4-hour market structure shift. Well, let me just look at the total, by the way, because it's just easier to see. Well, this is a 4-hour market structure shift, and we should be going up. Well, I can tell you one thing, right? One, good thinking. Kudos for that. Second, it's not really. Why? Because if you look at the daily chart and you say, what was the actual high here? And you start pulling on here, you can look that we didn't touch. If you pull from the very high up here, you can see that we didn't touch. On Bitcoin, this could be, and also here, this is a very, very strong level. Even though there is no 3 candles, this candle here is like a very undecisive candle, which is actually a green on Bitcoin. So this here could be considered a very strong level. And then the next level is the weekly one, which is basically up here at 3 consecutive candles, actually down here, 3 consecutive candles. And that means that we still have a little bit of room to grow. Can I see a Bitcoin pump happening? Yes, I do. Do I think that we're not going to see anything else other than just a retrace to this higher time frame order block up here and then a rejection from there? Abso-freaking-lutely. That is what's going to happen, I think. So what is going to happen? Yes, this is a 4-hour market structure shift. Yes, you could be considering this as a long position. If we come down here for whatever reason and there is a market structure shift, yes, I am going to take a long position because maybe we're going to take this out. You don't know, you have to trade the market. But ultimately, there is no reason for this to not retrace and take all this liquidity out. I told you multiple times, these levels, these trend lines that people are trading are there for you to get screwed. People, market makers, know where people put their stop losses. They are not idiots. They know that all the stop losses that get long are here, and these levels usually get taken like this. It doesn't get taken slightly, it doesn't get taken slowly, it gets taken like this. So in case there is, imagine the fact that there is going to be a ground invasion in the US. I'm telling you, in Iran by the US, I'm telling you this is what's going to happen. Okay, and it's going to happen on an illiquid weekend. So here's how I'm playing it. Obviously, nothing is financial advice. You do whatever you want to do. But ultimately, I'm just coming here and sharing with you what I do with my own money. As you can see, I'm taking all these trades on my own as well. So what I'm doing is the following. I have this ultimate long, this left one here. I'm going to delete this for a second. This is the big long that I've taken. I'll let you know all this about in the community. This is the big one, by the way. So I have it open at 71,800, about 72,000. That's the mark here. This is where I've taken a position, and I have added to it. This is why my average entry is a little bit lower, what you see here. And then I have the new scalp position, which I also shared in the community, and I said that I have taken this short position. This is gonna be crazy. I'm gonna talk about oil in a second. But I share this. I'm taking this scalp position. You have to follow market structure. It came back, it's coming back higher, and I have taken this short position as well. Can it come up all the way down here? Up here, yes. If there's going to be a 15-minute market structure shift, meaning a lower and lower than 50 minutes, something like this, I am going to take a massive scalp position here. Stop loss is going to be on the 15-minute high, and then just going to ride it all the way down to sub 60,000 if it depends on me. So this is my plan for Bitcoin. Nothing changed. Yes, this is a 4-hour market structure shift. Yes, I do see it. Yes, it does look good. I don't care because this is all driven by Trump's announcement, which then turned out to be completely fake. So I'm not paying any emphasis for that. But what is more important, and we should talk about it, is oil, because one, there is this Valero Oil Refinery, one of the largest in the United States. Their processor is roughly 395,000 barrels. Okay, who cares? But they are pretty big. What happens is that there is apparently, I don't want to say it's an attack because I don't want to, but a refinery it kind of blows up just out of nowhere in this situation. It's kind of weird. Now, I don't know who does that or why does that. I don't even want to go into speculating, right? It's what side, which side, Google Trends, all that. But what I know is that this is happening. This is an escalation. Whether it's planted, whether it's not, whether it's Iran, whether it's not, I don't know. But the fact that there is an oil refinery, which is one of the largest in the United States, burning from apparently no reason, it's obviously some kind of bomb or some kind of explosion that has not just happened. It is a problem because this will raise flags for a lot of Americans and a lot of people that now the war is not just isolated to the Middle East. Now, all this combined with the oil shock that we've been talking about, Coin had an amazing post here, and Coin doesn't follow me. Coin, follow me back. They had an amazing post here where they basically detailed how the oil shocks previously played out. You can look at the 73 oil shock at 2.6 million barrels per day offline for 6 months. You can look at the 79 oil shock of the Iraq invasion and the Iran revolution, 67 million barrels per day combined. And now you can look at the 2022 Russia, 3 million barrels of petroleum, and basically sent Brent from 76 to 138 back in 2022, which was a much smaller, of course it's horrible, but it's a much smaller thing. Now, if you look at all three combined, it's about 12 to 13 million barrels per day at peak. But if you look at today, what is really happening in Iran and the whole Strait of Hormuz situation, first of all, there is about 20 million barrels per day pressing through the strait. Now it basically dropped down to 0. You can combine all that. The S&P estimates 17 million barrels per day of oil and production have been removed from the markets. That means that what is happening now in the oil markets. And again, remember, here you can look at the 73 oil shock, which was quarter of that, one-tenth of that we see now, sent oil from $2.9 to $11 a barrel. You can see back in 2022, from 76 to 138. All this is what is happening now. You can look at this as all of the previous oil crises combined. So don't tell me that Trump can come in here and just in one day, say everything is fixed. It is not fixed, and oil is going much higher. So that said, I just want to jump in here and I want to look at the oil trade that I have. I told you that I'm taking this oil trade. By the way, I also posted this in the community. It's important. 𝗂𝗏 is our partners here. They are non-KYC available worldwide. They are based in Singapore. Again, check them out. But we do have an incredible offer where you basically sign up and you get a deposit bonus. This is money that you can use. And I posted in the community. Join in and check this video. This is literally one of the latest posts here. I literally posted and I said, this is how I made $500 just from the bonus. You don't have to use your own money. You sign up, you deposit, you get a bonus, and you can simply take this bonus, as I got $800 bonus here, and I go here and I take the position, and then a little bit later, as it will say in a second, this is the position here, and a little bit later, I actually closed about 6 hours later, 7 hours later, you see it's 1 o'clock. I go down here and it's up at $500 and I close it and it's, out of nowhere. So anyway, there's a link in the description. Go ahead and check them out. They are partners here on the channel, but it's a pretty cool offer. So what I told you that I have taken, they have both the WTI and the Brent oil. So I have taken the WTI, which is the ticker is XTI, and I've taken this long position. And the reason why I have is because one, oil has been, I was waiting for this pullback, and I told you again, the way that you design this is that you have to come back every day, right? And I told you that I'm waiting for this little retrace here, the 50%. This happened yesterday. It wasn't even a little retrace, a 15% retrace, but I've been waiting for this. This is why I have not been long enough there. I took a long here, and once I've seen a market structure shift, I longed and we rode all the way up here. So building up this liquidity, I would not be surprised if this would start coming a little bit lower and then show a market structure shift. If that happens, again, I added to this position, so I have it open. But if this happens, I'm gonna go heavy long oil and heavy short Bitcoin, as I have explained to you, in case the 15-minute market structure shifts play out. Again, I'm gonna update you about this as well. Guys, lots of things happening. Please do not slack now. Share this with your friends, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on, and join in the community. It's free. Link in the description. And again, if you don't take advantage of the 2-bit bonus, I don't know what to tell you. Take care, guys. Much love.